Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, November the 4th, 7:19 a.m. It is election day. It is the Super Bowl for nerds just like you and I and Roman. Good evening, Roman. How's your night going so far?
Been going great. I picked up my kiddo at school and we went to go eat barbecue and I voted. It was great. I got a chance to go say hi to my friend Delia Cavazos, who's running for city commission in Harlingen. Good luck to her. I hope she wins tonight. Lucky for her, there's only one other opponent in that race, and so they'll be done tonight. No runoffs. And we spent a few minutes right now before the show, so I can show you the tricks that I use to be able to get results before anybody else does. So good luck, everybody else on Channel 423 that you're trying to figure out the results and you're looking at the Cameron County website and don't know where they are. I do, though. And so does Frankie, and that's why he has me on the show. So we're going to find out together.
Again, the polls close across Cameron County, Hidalgo County at 7 p.m. We will be covering, for the most part, City of Brownsville, Proposition A and B, BISD bond, the constitutional amendments, South Padre Island City Council, the Edinburgh mayoral race, and the mayoral city council race. Los Fresnos Roman also has their school district has a race. I'm missing one.
South Padre Island,
South
Harlingen.
Padre Island. I believe I did mention
Harlingen.
that. The city of Harlingen. There you go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to give you live results. Again, the polls just closed at 7 p.m. We are actively refreshing. I know I am. Roman is as well. As soon as we get early voting results, we will post them live for each and every one of you to follow. So again, ladies and gentlemen, today is the day that is ultimately going to shape the way the next 30 years, unfortunately, for the city of Brownsville will take place. Roman, I kind of want to put you on the hot seat. What's your take, man? We had a low voter turnout, right under 5,000 voters came out the first 2 weeks of early voting. You earlier today said that you anticipated anywhere from 1,800 to 2,000 max voters. Roman, will this BISD bond pass in your opinion? Yes or no?
I think it's going to pass because of the misinformation done by BSD. That's why I think it's going to pass, because that's just what I think. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong, and maybe I'm doing the reverse jinx kind of thing here and saying, "Oh, I think it's going to pass," and then it fails, and I'll be like, "Yes," and I'll be okay with that. But I feel like it's going to pass, and I think it's going to be a close race in order for it to pass. I think 55-45 is my prediction, that it passes 55-45. And I
Again,
hope I'm wrong.
every vote counts. Janie Lopez, our state representative, did state how San Benito, they had a bond that passed by 50 votes. It was a hot topic back in 2018. We have Cindy. Cindy is at the library. There's still people here at the library. So how does that work, Roman? Do they let people, as long as they're in line before 7
Yeah.
p.m., do they
Yeah,
let them vote?
Yeah, as long as there's if you're in line to vote before at 7 o'clock, you are allowed 6:59:59. You are allowed to vote as long as you're in line. They stop people from being able to vote afterwards, but as long as you stay in line, you don't leave the line, you don't go to the restroom, you don't do anything. You stay in line to be able to vote, and that could be why there's a delay. This happened. It seems like it happens every election now, because we've gone to countywide voting on election day, which can cause a lot of problems, and that's why I oppose it. I think it's wrong. It's ridiculous to do that. A number of reasons. If one of them is, for me, is election integrity, and it's not that I don't trust Remy Garza, our county elections administrator. I think there's a question about election integrity. Let's say you're from Brownsville and you decide on election day, I'm going to vote in Santa Maria, and you're the only person that voted in Santa Maria from your precinct. People after the election will know exactly how you voted, and that's ridiculous. That you should not people should not be able to know how you voted, and yet you had a Republican county chair that was in favor of it. The previous county chair, Morgan Graham, was very much opposed to it for on those lines and others. Let's say you could have a potential delay in when results come out, like it is today. They won't be able to do results for anything because people are still voting countywide. And so until people stop voting, you can't release those early vote results. And that's why we might be here a little while longer, because people might actually be voting in other jurisdictions, not just in Brownsville, but in Harlingen. I know people were voting. It was a steady amount of people voting in Harlingen throughout the day on election day. And so because of that, you're delaying the potential of the results being released. And again, this is all because of Deborah Bell and her stupidity of supporting it. Then you also have the problem of the cost for elections to do on election day. Your BISD, you would think on election day, I'm only going to be paying for services done within the BISD territory. No, taxpayer BISD, you now have to cover costs for all throughout the entire county, because there might be somebody from BISD that decides they want to vote again in Santa Rosa, for example, and you have to pay, your fair share to do those. So that's a problem. And then you also have the other added dilemma of when your ballot is done. Your ballot is done. It's done right then and there. You give them your identification to say you're a voter, and they print out your ballot. You no longer get to choose between 2, 3, 4, 5 different ballots to determine what ballot you want. No, you have to pick whatever they printed out for you. And is there any identifying marker to say, oh, this is, Juan Garcia's ballot? Is there a serial number attached to it? You really don't know. So all these kinds of issues are caused when you have election day voting, and you Republicans have Deborah Bell to thank for this. Republicans who are upset, you concerned about election integrity, concerned about, shenanigans happening on election day, you can thank one person, Deborah Bell, your county chair, because she was the one that voted in favor of it on the Elections Commission. Yeah, the other Democrats could have voted in favor of it as well, but she was in favor because she thought it was a good idea for whatever reason. So blame her, Republicans. And so we're going to have this long delay, potentially, hopefully not too long, because of, what's happening on election day, people voting throughout the county at any voting location they want to. And they've done this because of convenience. It's convenient for you to be able to vote wherever you want to on election day. Yeah, great convenience. Let's make it easier. But I've already explained to you, you're costing taxpayers more money. You're costing you're championing election integrity. You don't get necessarily your secret ballot on election day, thanks to these people. So there you go.
So Roman, you're saying that early voting numbers will not be released until the last person has casted their ballot on election night. Is that what you're saying?
At some point around that time, that's what will happen. That should happen, because they have to wait for everybody to vote before they release those numbers. It's kind of the theory of what happened in Florida. In the year 2000, when President, then Governor Bush was running, and then Vice President Al Gore was running, you had results being done in Florida, in part of Florida, and there were still voting going on, and there were people in the Panhandle, which is more Republican friendly, when they called the election for Florida for Vice President Al Gore. You had people that left, that walked away, that said, "Oh, it's over. I'm not going to wait in line. It's a long ass line," and that actually led to more problems, because when you did count those ballots, it did. People still question whether George W. Bush actually won the election. He did, by the way. He won the election. It's over. Accept the results of the election of the year 2000. I know there's some people that don't, but you should. But it did cause an issue. So that's one reason why I'm not a fan of election day voting anywhere in the county.
I remember that, Roman. I was in 8th grade, and I remember the results didn't come in until in the wee hours, if I'm not mistaken. And this was an issue that ultimately went to the courts, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I went to the Supreme Court.
Dragged on for a while, and because I'm so used to, or we're so used to election night, knowing possibly after an hour or so, having a feel more or less of where the different candidates, where they are after early voting. And I remember this was, taking forever, and I don't think we got like a final, this is the new president of the United States, until possibly Roman, in the wee hours or the next morning. It was something like we woke up and we're like, oh crap, like they still haven't decided, something crazy. And again, I was 8th grade, I was 14, 15 years old, and to me that was like, that doesn't sound right. So again, how would the world have changed if Al Gore, the famous what is he known for, Roman? Climate change, right?
Global warming. I
global
Al
warming. I'm sorry,
Gore.
global warming. If
Al
Al Gore
Gore's.
would have been the
Yeah.
president during 9/11, would we have been in the Iraqi war? So
I mean,
again, yeah, go ahead.
Today, Vice President Dick Cheney passed away, who was vice president and was on the ballot in the year 2000, 25 years ago. So may he rest in peace.
That's right. Vice President Dick Cheney, who was heavily criticized for this notion of weapons of mass destruction. That ultimately, I think it's fair to say, Roman, that that wasn't the case.
Mm.
Many people, I think it could be agreed upon that was not the case. That many people allude to the fact that it was all about resources. It was all about gold. It was all about oil. It was all, that was the main reason why the United States, the imperial United States, invaded Iraq and ultimately had Saddam Hussein tried and executed after that invasion. So, I'm sure I can speak for Roman, but this is what we live for, guys. All the hard work. And look, I want to recognize so many different people. We've had Roman, former city commissioner Jessica Tetreault. Good evening, Ms. Tetreault. She asked her prediction. Roman said that he feels that it is going to pass. Roman, I don't think it's going to pass. This is the first time, Roman. This is the first time that I can remember that people have been more vocal. I think whenever, Roman, you pressure people, and look, they always say, "Don't mess with my money, don't mess with my pocketbooks," and this notion that has been going out there that this is a property tax increase. Not yet, Ibarra. We're refreshing as soon as the early vote gets released. We'll post it. Not yet. We might be here for a while. Because according to Roman, since Cameron County voters are able to vote anywhere throughout the county, they won't release the early vote numbers and the absentee ballots until the last ballot is casted. So we might be here until 8 p.m. until we finally get those numbers. But going back, Roman, to the prediction, it is my opinion that I do not feel as if this bond will pass because this is the first time that I've had. Look, Roman, you're very vocal. Captain Bob's very vocal. Duty, as of late, has been vocal. But now it's like people that possibly weren't as engaged, Roman, that possibly weren't as involved in elections. And look, special shouts out goes to Bautista, Dr. Cisneros, Munoz, Ms. Miller, Jasmine, there's and Ms. Lama. There's so many people out there that have been vocal against this. This is, if this doesn't pass, it's going to be because of people like you. It's going to be because of all those people that I mentioned and others that I apologize that are escaping my memory that have been vocal because of people like you. And we need to capitalize on this movement because just as people were vocal with the arena, I've seen just as much, if not even more, people that are being vocal with this BISD bond election, and we need to take it a step further. We can sway elections moving forward. I'm getting a text here, Roman. I spoke to plenty of my teacher friends, and they voted no. And again, to my teachers out there, you have so much power. Go for it, Roman. You have so much power that you don't even realize. BISD is one of the largest employers south of San Antonio, one of the biggest employers here in the city of Brownsville. To my teachers of BISD, you have the opportunity in each election to sway an election because you guys are, 5,000 employees? Close to 5,000? You guys have an opportunity to shape the culture of each election. But you know what we need to do? We need to rally together. And look, I hate that the teachers' unions are going in favor of this bond. This is not in the best interest of the community. I understand that there's this notion that, we need to save BISD. We need to vote yes, because if not, teachers are going to lose their jobs. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, ladies and gentlemen. Whether this bond passes or not, people are going to lose their jobs. That's just reality. So to my teachers out there, you have the opportunity, and thank you so much for this text message. Thank you so much for this text message. I spoke to plenty of my teacher friends, and they voted no. Teachers, you have the opportunity to sway not just this BISD bond election, but each and every election that's out there. Let's change the city. We have the county coming up. We have Congress coming up. You have the opportunity to bring candidates to focus on important issues that are ultimately going to provide better opportunities for you and your household. So that's my challenge to the teachers out there. Let's rally together and let's focus on uniting and bringing about the positive change that our area so desperately needs.
I'll tell you, Frankie, in 2023, when the VAT was up, which was also a tax increase that Daniel Lopez Valdez was claiming was not a tax increase, it was the voter-approved tax rate election, it passed 60-40. And so you're looking at similar voting numbers, maybe a little bit less. And that's why I predict that it's going to pass, because even though we had a lot of people complaining about it, and I mean, I'm really hoping that everybody like Cindy, yourself, and this lady, I will hope that her family members were trying to get them to vote. I hope those families voted against this stupid bond, because it is going to increase your taxes. I'm hoping that line underneath the proposition that says this is a tax increase, that people will wise up and say, this is a lot of money. I'm not going to vote for a tax increase regardless of what they want to do it for.
Hey, Manny, what do you mean by that? Please, Trevino, please clarify on that.
Yeah, is it on the BISD website or something? Because it's literally not on the Cameron County elections website. But if you're saying it's on, is it on their website? Oh God, I hope you're right, dude. I really do. I hope you're right, because I don't. Do they have it on their website? I don't know how they have it, because it's not on the county website.
Check their Facebook. Uh-oh.
Are they down? Really? Dude.
Again, if somebody would know, it'd be BISD, because
they get access to it before everybody else does.
Well,
let's see. How the hell do they wait? How the hell did they have those numbers? They had this. No, on their Facebook account. How do they have those numbers? Oh, they just posted it. 10 minutes ago. It's over. Congratulations, everybody. You saved everybody. It's over. Hallelujah. It's over.
Is it really?
Wow, it's over, dude. Like, they have it on their Facebook. I don't know why they're posting it and nobody else is posting it. Why the Cameron County website does not have it.
How do they have these? Again, going back, Roman, to election integrity, Roman. How do they have these numbers?
Yeah, they're posting it. I mean, I'm looking at the Cameron County elections results page. It's not even there. But regardless, congratulations, guys. It's done. They have.
Wow.
It's over. Congratulations, guys. Thank God.
Wow.
Yes, this is fantastic news. I'm so glad I'm wrong. I love being wrong. No, I'm glad I'm wrong. You listened, you saw the line, you just aplausos, like, yes, you just saved us a lot of money, and now it's kind of call those people accountable. Every one of those board members, every one of them, for doing this. I'm so glad. I mean, what's interesting is that there were more people that were against the PAC, which never should have been on the ballot to begin with, because that's not what the Citizens Advisory Committee was in favor of or wanted. Oh, so thank goodness for that. I'm so happy. You have no idea. There are going to be people whose houses are not going to have to go away now. There are going to be people's rents are not going to have to go up anymore, and they already are. So thank goodness.
Special shots out go to all those people that were vocal. Special shots out goes to Roman, to Cindy, to Yasmin, to Dr. Cisneros, to Munoz, to Bautista. Shouts out to Ms. Miller. Look, all you people, shout out to Duty, Captain Bob. All you people deserve recognition. It is because of people like you that were vocal. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we have the power to do big things, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep this momentum. This is a strong message. You, the community, we, the community, we did it once. We did it once I apologize, Roman. We did it 3 times, Roman. 3 times with the venue. The citizens of Cameron County said not once, not twice, but 3 times they voted against it. Now, Roman, do you know what's going to happen, Roman?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go after this bond next year, the following year. I will dare bet my 7 cents that I have in my Chase bank account, Roman, that they will be coming begging the people. Roman, at the top of your head, do you remember the numbers? And I know I'm putting you on the spot. Do you remember the numbers for the venue, like year after year after year? Did it show like a decline in
the amount? I think it went up. This last time it was even more money they wanted to spend than they did.
No. In regards to votes, like was it high the first year for it, and then it slowly dipped? At the top of your head,
no, it did. Yeah, there was the 4 was lower and lower each time, and this last time it was a monumental bitch slap. That's what that was. It was a bitch slap that the citizens of Cameron County did to Judge Eddie Trevino and every single one of those commissioners, like Joey Lopez, who's up for election. That's going on. So now we got to vote. I'm glad that we voted this way, guys. Now it's time to get rid of Joey Lopez from being the Cameron County Commissioner, and I think it's time to get rid of Judge Eddie Trevino, who wants to continuously do this arena, because those two are never going to stop asking and begging for that arena. Yeah, that's what they want. So congratulations to every single person who did it. I think, Commissioner, you were saying that BISD does own the rights. You're right; they do own the rights to be able to do it, but to be able to post them before everybody's had a chance to vote, because there might be people that are voting one way or the other. But then again, on this kind of a bitch slap, because that's what it is tonight. Is 2874 against to 2000. I mean, if I wanted to do the math, if you want to do the math, we let's do it. Let's figure out what the percentage is. So they'll do 2001 and do over 4,875 and figure out what the 4% was. Just do 2001 divided by 4,875. And then
Roman, there's a difference of 200 votes. I know that's not a lot, but do you think more people possibly voted no for the Performing Arts Center than the facilities?
No. I think there were more people. If you look at the numbers, I think it evenly split, and so I think there were more people that were against the pact than there were against all the other stuff that they want to do, all the legit, and I'm going to put those in quote, things that needed to be done. And so there you go. And so congratulations. I think former PIO officer for BISD and former candidate for BISD. Congratulations, Jason. I don't know how you voted, but thank you for giving us that information. 41%. So Prop A, 41%. And I got to tell you, I do wonder if Jason Moody would have been in charge of the PIO office, and maybe the campaign for the bond might have been a little bit better than what it was,
I agree. Jason Moody would have probably done a better job.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe they wouldn't have done that, hostage-looking video.
Jason, I'm glad you're not there, bro, because there would have passed.
Me too. Good job, Jason. I'm glad you're not there no more. No, but this is a great day. Congratulations for doing this. And I think this is, voters out there, the Golden Girl is going to be on the ballot next year. She's going to run for whatever spot she's going to run for. Black, what happened?
No. There's 4 people on the ballot. You have,
all right.
You have your boy, Frank Ortiz.
Oh, Blackie Locks.
You have your Golden Girl.
The Golden Girl, see. The Golden
Girl. You have Denise Garza, who may not run depending on what happens in the primary March.
Mm-hmm. And you have Carlos Elizondo.
And Carlos Elizondo. The only one out of those 4 that was vocal against it, that is up for re-election, was Carlos Elizondo.
Right, and I don't think he deserves to be reelected anyway, because I think he's a pain in the ass on the board. It doesn't matter if he's right on this issue. I think overall, I think he's a pain in the ass. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, that's just me. But yeah, so I mean, I don't think you mentioned. Did you forget to mention Susan?
Again, there's so many people. Kati, Susan. There's so many people, and again, all those people. Again, I apologize. It's been a long day. All those people that were vocal, all those people that were working. Roman, this is the first time. This is the first time that I've seen not just people that are in the political world in this environment that we're in, but random people, Roman. Random people were commenting. Random people were sharing. We're part of the process. And Roman, they always say, "Don't you mess with my money." And people, look, ladies and gentlemen, life is difficult. I think now people are starting to see and feel the pinch and say, "Oh crap. If I don't vote against this, there's a possibility that I'm going to pay more taxes." Again, I spoke earlier today. My grandfather received a bill for $1,600.
Mm.
In 5 years, that bill, Roman, could potentially have been $3,200. So I think the people wised up and said, "You know what? Hell no, not today."
I just want everyone to know that we did not provide misinformation. If anybody the board president or the private school mom, Daniel Lopez Valdez, and the superintendent is going to probably complain about all the misinformation and say, "Oh, we if you only they would have listened to Jerry McHale, if only they would have listened to Juan Montoya instead of listening to Roman and Frankie and Susan and Cata and Dr. Cisneros and everybody else. If only they wouldn't have listened to all those people. They just should have listened to Jerry McHale and listened to Juan Montoya. All the truth would have come out." And I mean, I'm half expecting that to happen. And it's just ridiculous. I think Commissioner Tetra, you said something interesting. I look forward to seeing all these campaign finance reports out there to see who is being supported, who is getting funded to promote something, for their advertisements or whatever they were doing. But that'll come another day. We can discuss that another day. Everybody has the right to eat, I guess. But I hope that people realize that Juan Montoya and Jerry McHale, those two bloggers, are not your friends. They're not the voice of the people. They're not the voice of the everyday people. They're not. I hope that this election will teach people not to go to those stupid blogs and listen to them anymore, because their time in the shine, in the relevant world, in the relevant political world, should be done with, be over. Nobody should ever have to listen to them again. Just listen to people who try to give you facts. You may not agree with my facts or Frankie's facts or anyone else's facts, but you should understand that those individuals are not your friends. They're not posting things. I mean, you have one of the bloggers is rabidly against Trump. The Cameron County voted for Trump. They're in the minority. So I hope that people after today will stop listening to them. Do your own research. Listen to the various podcasts. Listen, watch the different Facebook pages that try to give you documentation, to try to say, this is the campaign. I mean, a friend of mine was informing me. Susan, all my love to you, because you and Frankie may not be friends, but I care for you, for Susan. I think you did a fantastic job on this bond. You might have done it a little bit overboard, but I think she did a fantastic job. She did a PIO. She put her money on the line to get some of these emails to show how there was a concerted effort by the Glass Palace to force this messaging campaign down everybody's throat. And she was able to show what she showed with the documents. So, I'm not going to tell everybody you got to listen to everything Susan says. No, I'm just saying, but, go around, look around. Don't just take the words of the has-been bloggers on Blogspot, on Blogger. Don't listen to them. There is a new generation of people that care. And I know I care. I know Frankie cares. I know Susan cares. I know Dr. Cisneros cares. Gatti, Dr. Cisneros, Commissioner Tetro. I don't know what you were posting on your page because you have me blocked, but it's okay. Me vale. Thank you for everybody that's posted about this bond, that said it. And a special shout out to the Republicans in the State House and the State Senate in Austin, because just like, State Representative Jenny Lopez, who came on our show yesterday, I should say yesterday, and said, if it wasn't for the Texas House, you would not have had the language that said this is a property tax increase. It was because of them that this happened. Now, I hope in the next cycle, next session, they'll go a step further. And so all these bonds, they're not just going to tell you the principal, which in this case would have been a total of $460 million, but include the fees and the interest so everyone knows the true cost of the bond. The true cost of the bond was not $460 million. The true cost of the bond was nearly $1 billion. $1 billion. So I'm just grateful.
Your mouth, Roman.
What happened?
You got to put the pig in your mouth. $1 billion.
$1 billion or something. I don't know. $1 billion.
Commissioner Tetreault did state it. Where are you? I will file a complaint. I will file a complaint myself if they don't report it. Somebody sent me a post of Susan that she showed that $50,000 was spent on this bond. I have to go back and check my. Again, I got so many messages today. I apologize. But if someone could corroborate that, Susan posted something about BISD spending $50,000 on quote unquote information, on informing this. And look, Roman, I just got a text again from my teacher, from my friend. They said even their huge efforts by going to the schools to push their agenda, we could see through them. I don't trust them. I wish we could vote to approve for the audit and not leave it up to them. We deserve to know how our taxes are going to be spent. And now Roman made an excellent point. Roman made an excellent point. Now that this issue is over and done with, let's hold those 5 people, those 5 board members, to my community, to the citizens of Brownsville, and to all those people that I mentioned, and Susan and Kati and all those people that were very vocal. Now let's go after those 5 people because they did not do what was in your best interest. I took that, Roman, and maybe this is not a good word, and maybe I shouldn't use it. I took that as a threat, Roman, that they hypothetically were in favor of raising your taxes. As much as they want to say and blanket that this is for the children, for the children, for the children, ultimately, the ones who were going to be affected by this was you, the voter. So again, let's remember those people whenever they come up for re-election. Let's remember and look, this coming election for BISD, I think summer is the deadline, more or less.
August of 2026.
I apologize. August is the deadline to sign up for the November election.
And it doesn't cost anything to file. And it's a plurality, not even a majority.
Let's go after them. Let's support like-minded individuals that are going to put the interest of you, the community, before anyone. And look, I challenge you, my people, because I do not want Daniela Lopez Valdez to be the president. She is not worthy.
100%.
She is not worthy of being your representative, of being the head of BISD. And the reason why I take this so personal is because Erasmo Castro was the president, and he gave her the position. He chose her to be the vice president. The only reason why, we all know, the only reason why she's there is because of unfortunate events. So, ladies and gentlemen, I took this as a threat, and this may not be the most proper word, but I'm not very good at the word, as y'all might know. But they put your livelihoods at stake. They made you sweat it. I was sweating bullets because of my grandfather. I'm sure you did too. You thought, man, I just received my taxes, Roman, in October. Man, I'm barely going to be able to pay this. Will I be able to pay that down the road 5 years? And again, the children, those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, they were going to finish paying the bond in 30 years. They didn't care, Roman, of putting the financial burden on the young kids. As young as they say, Roman, I'm for the children. Roman, you have a young child. He would have been in the middle of his life by the time, if he were to stay in Brownsville, he would have had to pay off that debt of $1 billion. So again, to my people, I'm happy. I'm glad. I'm rejoicing. The work's not finished, people. We have to celebrate tonight and get ready to start swinging tomorrow and start getting people that are going to run and are going to serve you on that school district.
Yeah, I agree. And I know there was a question that was asked, has the Cameron County Elections website updated? No, it has not. It is not. And it's really obnoxious, but, it's because we have,
Roman, do you want to make a big deal out of that? Because Commissioner Tetreault said, they always get the numbers early. Is that election integrity?
Well, no, it's because they do have the opportunity to release them. It's their property per se to be able to do what they want to, but I don't think they should have released the numbers yet until everybody has had a chance to vote, until every entity has finished, and they should have waited, but they didn't. Maybe we need to the question why BISD released them so early, considering that there were people potentially voting in the BISD election throughout the district, throughout the county right now, and there should have been fairness. But you know what? It is what it is. Maybe we can discuss this at another time. Maybe there's something that we need to talk to with Remy Garza, and ask him those questions. I'm pretty sure tomorrow and the next day he'll be kind of exhausted. So maybe next week we can ask him, or somebody can reach out to him and say, hey, how can we fix this going forward so this doesn't happen again? Because there's a lot of questions. And I will also tell you all, will be the last election where there will be a break happening between early vote and election day, starting with the primaries, this upcoming primaries in March. There will be early voting going on all the way through the weekend before election day, even the day before election day. You will have voting going on.
Really,
And it's Sunday,
no break.
No break whatsoever. And what the thing about that is gonna, it's a good thing. If you're in favor of election integrity, and the reason I say that is because you're not gonna know what the numbers are to figure out what they got to do, to be able to catch up. Supposedly, not that those kind of stuff happens, but those are conspiratorial stuff that does occur. The conspiracies occur, not that the stuff that they're conspiracy theorists are saying happened. That's what they claim. So they'll go on all the way through the day before, and so there'll be questions that need to be asked. And I'm kind of excited about there being early vote all the way through, and not ending, the Friday before the Tuesday, or if it's a Saturday election, ending like on Tuesday before Saturday. They're going to go all the way through from now on. And as far as the $52,000 number, that's a teacher, guys. Salary. That's a teacher right there. That's a teacher salary right there. So all the little people.
We don't have money, Roman.
We don't have money. We can't. If we don't have teachers, all this stuff. Like $52,000 going to pay. Hire a teacher. Hire a teacher.
Roman, I have Michael Gossage saying BISD better figure out how to repay taxpayers for all the propaganda purchased to push this on the voters. What's your take on that? $52,000.
I don't know. I don't honestly. I don't have it. I'm still kind of shocked that they spent $52,000, because I think, Jason was saying they didn't spend that kind of money, when they did the TRE, 10 years ago. But then again, there's a lot of inflation happening, right? Oh, in 2023, of course they didn't have to spend that money, because you had people that were believing what Danielle Lopez Valdez was claiming falsely. Her disinformation, claiming that it wasn't a tax increase when in fact it was. People believed her. People, like, maybe because she was nice and shiny, everybody wanted to believe it. I don't believe the law was there anymore. The law wasn't there to say it was a property tax increase. I mean, he had it in the mass wording, but I don't think underneath the proposition it actually said that. But maybe that's what it was. So I'm just really happy tonight. I know there are going to be some board members that are going to be, pissed at me and pissed at Frankie, but you only have yourselves to blame for being greedy. You all were greedy. You all did not have to go for $460 million. You didn't. You could have gone for maybe $100 million and fixed some of the things you needed to fix. You didn't have to go for the PAC, but you did it for political purposes. It's your own damn fault, not mine. Not Frankie's fault. It's yours. Blame it on yourself. Get a mirror and put it in your face. It's your fault. It's your superintendent's fault. What it is.
I want to ask the community chat. I want you guys to respond right here, and I want you to respond to myself and Roman. Okay, we voted no for the 460, for the 1 billion. Roman just said, what about 100 million? How do you feel? Should we go in phases, chat? Should we go? Let's do little by little. Let's do elementaries. Let's do middle schools. Let's do high. Let's not, because again, Representative Lopez, JD Lopez stated that San Benito did 50 million. While 50 million is a lot, it's nothing in comparison to 460, Roman.
Right.
So to the community, I want you to post your opinions right here. Are y'all okay with BI? Because again, just the way, and it's my opinion, just the way Cameron County, year after year after year, they came back. It took us 3 times to say no, no, no. What if BISD came back and said, you know what? we're going to ask for 50 million. We're going to ask for 75 million. Lucio is saying no. Lucio is saying no. Green is saying no. You give corrupt board and admins an inch, they take a mile. Trevino says one project at a time, and I don't mind voting yes for it because again, it gives us a way to have checks and balances, Roman. Because hey, look at the good work I did. It's like kids. You know what I mean? You test them out. Roman, you lend your kid a car at 15. Hey, let's see how responsible you are. Let's see if you're able to take care of it. Let's see if you wash it. Let's see if you have it clean. Right? That's fair to say. And then, Roman, if your son shows you that he washes it, that he puts gas in it, that he takes it for an oil change, that he's responsible, after a while, you're probably thinking, you know what, wife? Let's get this boy a car. He deserves it because he has shown that he is responsible. Maybe to the community, Trevino says, hey, maybe a project is not that bad. Is that fair to say, Roman?
Yeah, I mean, I look, that's a conversation, they're going to have, but I will tell you this right now. I don't want to see a bond in the next 12 months. I don't want to see a bond presented by this board at all, ever, until we have a new board. And until we do have that forensic audit completely done. Whatever audit that was, voted on and supported by Erasmo Castro, let that audit happen and release it, tell people what's in it, and allow us to peruse it and really, think about it and talk about it, and then wait for the new board to come in. Because in the next 12 months, there better not be another bond from this BISD board.
Roman, does it matter? Because again, BISD for Proposition B, the PAC, they went bananas with 75 million. They had three options. They went bananas. Would you as a taxpayer, would the community, would the chat as a taxpayer, would they say, you know what? There's so many performing arts centers out there that we could rent. If there is a need for our facilities, let's just focus on the facilities. That's it. Chat, how do y'all feel about that? Oh, like Roman is saying, you know what? I don't want a bond, period. Let's get new blood. Let's get new board members. Let's get new representation. And then let's go back to the drawing boards. But what's your take, chat? Do you prefer us not going for luxury? For us just going for the necessities? Because again, look, no disrespect. I got nothing but love to theater, to arts, to band, to choir. We all do, Roman. We all do. You know what I mean? We all want our kids to perform and have a big stage and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we have to be real. We have to say, you know what? We can't afford luxury. Let's focus on necessity. What's your take, Roman? Would you as a taxpayer say, you know what? Okay, yes, we need a financial audit. Yes, we do. But instead of focusing on a PAC, which, yes, it's good, but it's not a necessity. Are you okay with us?
It's not a necessity, but I think that, as somebody mentioned Doge, I agree. We need to Doge the heck out of this school district at this point. We need to figure out where the cuts need to really happen. They're gonna have to do it, and they're gonna invite us. They're gonna include us, hopefully, and say, look, we're gonna close all these schools now. They're gonna close them. We're finally gonna know what schools are gonna get closed. We're gonna find, everyone's gonna be freaking out about it. But again, it's the mismanagement of the Glass Palace, and many of those people that are there right now have been there for ages, right? They just churn them out. Maybe the superintendent's only been there for 2 years, but this is a long time coming. You've had Minerva Peña. How long has she been a board member? How long? Since the dawn of time. So there's a lot of people. Carlos was the board member for 4 years, and then he wasn't. Now he's back. These are people that have been in the system. They've been there a while. And so I think it's very, very important. It's very, very important that they now go back into the drawing board. They start doging the crap out of BISD so that we figure out what is really necessary. We do this audit at the same time so that we can know where the money really is. Where did it go to? So we don't make sure that the money wasn't spent. Maybe we have a couple of $1 million we didn't know we had. You never know. That's what these audits are for. And again, some of these board members were in favor of it. They've been in favor of it. Let's do it. Let's do these things. But, it's going to, they're going to blame us. They're going to, put their heads in the sand, and they're going to point the finger at us and throw us the middle finger. And Man, I don't know all these things. They're gonna do all bad things so because they're mad at us. They're gonna be angry at us. You know what? It's time to, roll up those sleeves and get to real work. Because what you all thought was your easy way out was to get a $460 million bond, and it failed miserably. And I'm grateful. I'm glad I was wrong. Maybe I did do the reverse jinx. Man, I'm glad I did that because I kept saying no, no, no. I did the same thing with that Osmo last year. Did the same thing to him. Like, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna, you're gonna, lose because you're not doing your job. And I was wrong, and I was okay with it. I was happy. I laughed my ass off that I was freaking wrong. And so I'm wrong here, and I'm okay with being wrong. I'm not always going to be right because I think in the back of my mind, I was hoping that people were going to be smarter than this. And voters, you proved me wrong, and I'm glad. I'm happy.
The chat has been making
On
some
fire.
interesting points
On
along with
fire. Keep commenting, guys.
That we want an audit first. Let's see where our money is before we proceed. Yasmin makes an interesting point. Roman, in the last decade, BISD has closed close to double-digit schools, anywhere from 7 to 9, possibly double digits, in that range, more or less.
Say it again.
In the last decade, how many schools has BISD closed?
Oh, I think it's been like 7 or 8. I want to say.
Close to double digits. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yasmin makes an interesting point. Hey, let's liquidate those. Let's sell those. I think we could possibly get a couple mil a piece, maybe. That could bring us what, Roman? 30, 40, 50 million dollars. That could offset.
Cummins got a 16 mil.
Okay, there you go.
Cummins got a 16 mil. You don't think you get enough money for some of this? Look at Chromac. Chromac is sitting in Southmost. The development you could do. Maybe. I mean, I don't want to get rid of Chromac. I love Chromac. I love the historical quality of it. It never should have closed, but they did combine it, and that's what they did. But yeah, you can make, get some money, get some real good money for it. Maybe not Garza Elementary, but yeah, maybe you should.
So 16 million times 7 schools closed. Look at that, Roman. $112 million.
It's about
Imagine
a quarter.
That, ladies and gentlemen.
It's about a quarter of what the bond was, and it doesn't cost the taxpayers nothing.
And
look, you can get interest on that.
A lot of people are very vocal about this, Roman, because they said, look, there's no plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. All it was bond, raise taxes. Whoa, take it easy. Take it easy. How about we try and liquidate them?
Take it easy.
Oh,
you sound like Nacho Libre right there. Take it easy.
Take it easy. Let's try and liquidate. Let's try and recoup with 7 schools at a. And look, Roman, how long ago did we sell Cummins? A year, 2 ago?
Mm-hmm.
Inflation, dog. Market value goes up. That 112 million that I just showed you, that could possibly be closer to 150, 130.
And then you put it in the bank and you get interest on that sucker.
We don't know, Roman. So again, imagine
we're
Roman,
not financial experts here.
Again, we're just thinking like laymen, Hey, well, imagine what somebody that had a brain that said, I have a great idea. Let's sell these schools and have $100 million in the coffers. Let's put it into an account that's going to build money. It's going to build interest. After a couple years, we may have 200 million, Roman, and we can do great things with that. But no, we have people that are closed-minded, people that aren't willing to think with the brain that our God gave us. That's what bothers me, Roman. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. I'm just really happy. And there's still not, by the way, there's still no election nights on the county website. We have no idea what's going on in Harlingen. We don't know what the results are in Harlingen. We don't know what's going on in Edinburgh that election night because they don't even have any election night votes in Hidalgo County at all yet. So we're still going to be here chatting about BISD. So thank you, BISD, for posting on Facebook because you've given us 30 minutes of quality content. But I do want to talk about some of these other races. Put on blast saying, so Garza Elementary still has a lot of supplies and electronics to use, and it's just sitting there doing nothing. Useless of a damn board, man. Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't the superintendent go take a picture of his old school there at Garza when he took a picture? Oh, I used to teach there, and it was Garza Elementary, and even though it's closed, I don't know. Oh wow. Jason Moody, you have Harlingen as friends with. Why does the county not have it? But Jason Moody has this stuff. Why does Jason have it? Well, I forgot. Jason is the PIO in Harlingen. I forgot. You would have that one. And give us the numbers, Harlingen says it. Jason has the numbers for other cities, but Cameron County doesn't. Here I am bragging over here earlier that I know where the numbers are going to be on the Cameron County website, but they don't have them any. Why does the election department have this?
Hold on. Valley Central has them.
Oh, Jason is saying their system.
Everyone has them. Everyone has them except for Cameron County, Chingo.
Well, Jason is claiming on the chat right now that they don't have their system isn't working. Like, this is insane. This is wrong. Election night. But you know, it's not just them. It's also Harlingen for some reason.
Let me go.
You know, even the Hidalgo County. Sorry, even Hidalgo County doesn't have those numbers, bro. Like even Hidalgo County, are they having technical issues?
Let's go over the races. Okay.
Oh man, I freaking hate this.
Let's wait for propositions. Let's do the other ones.
I don't care. Make it a little bigger. I can't read it.
59%. Is it too small?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, make it bigger. I can't read it. I mean, maybe other people can read it, but I can't. I'm blind. It's not that I'm blind. It's just, the screen's kind of small.
You're old.
Jason, yeah.
Okay.
No, make it bigger. Like there you go, much better, right there. There you go, good job. I like that. All right, let's go. Let's go. No, I love that. That's a good sign. Okay, hey, let's look at the Cameron County bond over there. They're in favor of it. Oh wow, they're gonna fix their drainage over there. Congratulations, awesome, good job over here, Cameron County, Drainage District number 6. All right, man, you made it ginormous, dude. It's okay. It's fine. Like, where are we? Dang, dude. Like, dude, what the hell, man?
Yeah, you were right. It's because so much information is coming out that they're like.
There you go. I think that's a little bit better, maybe.
Gee.
Oh, gee, wow, bro. Gee, wow, man. Oh, okay.
I think it's better on my phone, Chingo.
The person who just texted me. Okay, got it. I apologize. I didn't know that, but thanks for letting me know. So you have them or not? Oh.
Yeah, hold on.
Gee, wow, dude, you.
We're gonna be like the bush, Chingo.
It's hilarious. No, chihuahuas. Forget it. You know what? I'm just gonna look at it myself then, I guess.
Okay, propositions.
Oh, you already got it already? You got
proposition.
it? Oh, right. There you go.
Yeah.
Scroll down.
It's gonna mess up right when I get there. Watch. Okay, bond, the BISD, 59%. Cameron County District.
Yeah, they're voting in favor of it.
BISD bond, 28 to 2,000. Proposition B, against 62%.
Yeah.
Harlingen. Wow, Delia.
Yes. All right, Delia. Woo! Oh man, it's over. Dude. Well, it's still a close race, but I think it's over, Delia. So I'm so happy for her. Like, I'm so happy. Forget you, Cameron County Republican Party, for not standing with Delia. You better not freaking claim her. She's a Republican that you didn't support, that you didn't want to help, Deborah Bell. It's your fault. Congratulations. I guess Delia didn't need the Republican Party. She had the grassroots. Congratulations, Delia. I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad I got a chance to see you. I owe you that hug.
He, the incumbent, 76%, won overwhelmingly against Frank Puente.
Yeah, got reelected. Congratulations against Daniel.
Ooh, that's a close one. 10 votes, Roman.
Dude, are you sure? 10 votes? Wow, 10 votes. I guess we're going to have to wait for election day. Figure out what happens on that race.
Election day again.
Election day. Vote counts. Every vote matters. Every vote matters.
Every vote counts. Munoz and Casanova. Casanova is the incumbent, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right, yes. And he's up by 40. I think it's over at that point.
Martin Castillo. Good job. Martin Castillo is in the lead with 35 votes. Wow.
Man, these are some close races. These are some really, really close tight races. Yeah.
Close race. Ruben
you got
Trevino by 90 some votes,
that's over.
86 votes.
That's done.
La
Well,
Feria,
what is La
oh,
Feria?
SPI. Ken Metters, incumbent.
All right, that's over. Congratulations on getting reelected.
SPI. Aaron Hartwell.
Wow.
It might 51%. She might win it without a
She
runoff.
might win it without a runoff, depending on what Esteban Flores does on election
Wow.
day. That
Good
might be
job,
good.
Aaron. I went to high school with Aaron.
Oh wow. Yeah,
She's a
cool.
local entrepreneur here on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And she's beating the incumbent, Schwartz, Kerry Schwartz. Good for her.
Congratulations, Aaron.
What else do we want to look at? Edinburgh. Oh, it's not out yet.
No, it's not, because you don't have election night coverage. Election night can not come out.
You
I
want
do
the
wonder.
propositions?
Yeah, sure. Well, the thing about the propositions that they don't really matter, because you have to look at, statewide to see what those numbers are. If you want to look at the statewide numbers, you can go to the Texan News if you want to Google that and get those results. But I expect all of them to pass. I don't think there'll be a problem for those passing at all. So yeah, it's an exciting night. I'm really, really happy for Delia. I got to tell you, I got a chance to first, meet her and get to know her in 2010, 15 years ago, when she and I were both helping Carlos Cascos get reelected against John Wood. And so I'm so happy for you, Delia. I owe you that hug. I couldn't hug her today because I don't like hugs, you know that. But you know what? I owe you that hug. I'll give you that hug. And it'll be great. It's fantastic news for them. Fantastic news over there. Let me see. It's still nothing in Hidalgo County at all. Let me see if there's anything there. I don't see anything that they've done. They're taking a sweet ass time over there in Hidalgo County, but it doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't. Yeah. So, yeah, you did, Jason, but we already went over them right now. I think we got the numbers over there. That way I don't have to get on the phone and stuff, because I don't like being on the phone. I'm not like awesome with Frankie, but we got him. Thank you so much, Jason. I really appreciate it. But yeah, it's just an amazing night. Do you know if you want to go over to the Facebook and the Facebook page of BISD? Maybe they have even new numbers, even bigger numbers, to be able to make them more depressed. Because I have a feeling the election day vote was not in their favor also. So let's see. Who knows? Let's brag a little bit. Even though I had no faith. Yeah, y'all want to get mad at me because I had no faith. I had no faith. I did not have any faith. Oh wow, it's even more. Okay, yeah, they have new numbers now. The proposition, again, it failed miserably. Congratulations to the voters and taxpayers. But now with the latest rounds of voting, which I'm pretty sure is probably every vote, as of 11 a.m., we have for 2,589 against 3,719. It actually has increased by about 1,200 votes. Yeah, congratulations again. Proposition B is failing as well at 2,369 for, 3,932 against. And again, that also has increased in percentages and numbers. I'm just ecstatic. Okay, Jason, do me a favor. Give me the freaking percentages, because I can't do it in my head anymore. What's the for? What's the against? For those things. I am ecstatic.
Someone sent it to me. Let me see.
What's the percentage now with this new numbers? I mean, I just amazing, guys, that you all did this. You all did this. It wasn't us by ourselves. It was you all. You all did the work. You all did. I'm grateful for each of you that actually did contact people, text people. I know, Elsie Garza was taking people to go vote on Friday. Elsie, awesome. If you're watching, thank you for doing that, because you did your part. Gatti was taking people to go vote on Friday. They're making sure that they voted against that thing, and you did the work. So I'm proud of y'all, each and every one of y'all. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just Frankie. It wasn't just any individual person. It was a united effort against this thing. And I have no doubt in my mind that wherever Erasmo is right now, and I always joke that he'd be looking up at us, not down. But, I love the guy. I could say that because he's my buddy. May he rest in peace. I miss you so much. Every day I miss that guy. I miss Erasmo every single day. And I have no doubt in my mind that he is smiling down on us and just having a ball right now. He's a good guy, and we miss him, and he must be happy. And I've said this before, but on May election night, May and in June, it was not the same without him. It was not. But yeah, all right. Yasmin is saying, Brownsville 3,000 decided our fate, but make sure we increase those numbers. And Politiqueros will sure they have 4,000 to throw. What did it say? Throw off the numbers. Frank. Jason wants to join us. I don't care. It's up to Frankie. Whatever he wants to do. You want to join? Do it. I don't care. Let's just have a ball. Who else wants to join in? Anybody else want to join in? Let's have a party. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little sad here because our favorite private school mom and school board president, Daniela Lopez Valdez, she didn't believe in BISD before to send her children to BISD. I doubt she's gonna believe in BISD again, and I guess they're gonna be stuck in private school. Oh darn. Oh well. Or maybe still. What happened? What happened?
Do you think this is going to affect Frank Ortiz, Golden Girl, and Denise Garza if she ultimately does run for BISD? You think voting in favor of this propositions A and B going to the voters? Do you think it's going to affect them in their reelection, Roman? You think the voters are going to remember this?
I don't know. Here's the thing about BISD elections. Again, I was wrong on this election. I don't mind being wrong. But here's the thing about BISD elections. They're done in November. There are more voters coming out than in this kind of election. You also have, it's a plurality. It's not a majority. So that was one of the things that Osmo was really looking for when he ran this last year. He wanted to run in a race where there was a lot of people running because he knew he had his people that would vote for him no matter what. They crawled through glass to vote for him. And so there was like 4 or 5 people also running. They're not going to be able to catch to him. They're not going to be able to catch up to him because he has a solid base. So if Frank doesn't have 2, 3, 4, 5 people running against him, he could have his base and be able to win. Like Golden Girl, she's out there hobnobbing with all the people, listening to Carlos, listening to Minerva Peña, being friendly with Daniela Lopez crowd. I mean, she rubs elbow with all the good people in town. Maybe she'll actually win this race. I don't know. But we're gonna have to get some good people to run against these people, and be able to get out their message to get them out, because there's no reason why like Golden Girl was even put in. She should not have been appointed. But you had stupid board members like Daniela Lopez Valdez, the private school mom, who would not support me to be on the board because I'm a Republican. Ooh, Republican. Ooh. That's more than 50% of the county of Cameron County, but I'm a bad guy. I'm a Republican. Oh, how dare I? And because, I do support school choice. Oh my God, I support school choice just like you, Daniela. But I wasn't good enough for her. Just because Denise and Jessica wanted me on the board. You don't think that if I would have been on the board that I would have had the voters, faith and support, and I would not have supported this kind of monstrosity? You don't think that I would have probably tried to doge the whole thing to be able to, cut down on the waste and got there because I have the time and the ability to do it? I could have done all these things. I didn't have to spend 2 days on one stupid issue like the Golden Girl over there trying to, and then abstain. I wouldn't have had to do all these things because I've actually attended board meetings. I understand it. But no, that's what Daniela wanted. And then who else wanted her? Minerva Peña. Minerva Peña lied to me. She did. She lied to me. She said, if they nominate, I'll vote for you. She lied to my face. This Christian blood of Jesus, whatever, that's her. She lied to me. No, she wanted this other lady. And Frank wanted this other lady too. I think you reported that she's somehow related to the guy. And he never told anybody. Nobody knew. Nobody knew that they were somehow related. But that's who we have on the board. And then, we might have been able to save the $52,000 that was saved if you had somebody like me on the board. And I'm not saying I'm going to run for BISD. I'm not planning on running for BISD. I don't know, Frankie, I don't know if you're planning on running for it. I'm not. Right now, I'm not. But maybe some good people will. And I'm willing to support good people. And I think that's what we need to do as a community. So each and every one of you that's watching right now, that's celebrating with us, drinking your Chardonnay, or I don't know, drinking your twisted tea, or whatever the hell you're drinking, your beer, as you watch with us. I don't know.
Roman, you should run, Roman. You should run for something, man.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what I'm going to do. But, I'm enjoying the podcast work that I'm doing. Regardless, I think it's important that people realize that is who they appointed, and it's because of their stupidity. Daniela Lopez Valdez's stupidity, and Minerva Peña and Carlos and Frank, and I'm not gonna say Denise and Daniela. I mean Denise and Jessica, because they wanted me. Yeah, they voted for her because they wanted unanimous board. I'm not mad at them, but I am mad at the other pendejos on the board that put that woman in there, because maybe
Roman,
we would have had we would have saved them from their stupidity with this bond. What?
Roman, do you think Denise Garza, who voted in favor of these propositions to go out to the voters and hypothetically increasing the property taxes, do you think this is going to affect her
Yes,
campaign for county clerk against Sylvia Garza Perez?
100%. I think I really do. I really do, because it will be used by Sylvia. I've always said that Sylvia Garza Perez is one of the best politicians, if not the
Oh,
best,
she's the police
of
hardcore.
Sylvia in
Yeah,
Cameron County. She's hardcore. And
right.
do I think Denise is running up against somebody who's, Denise is a very, very go-getter. She's a great politician. She's smart. She has a lot of, knowledge and terms of being an elected official. I have a lot of respect for both of them, for Denise and for Sylvia. But she's running against, what somebody would consider a monster when it comes to politics. Not a monster in a bad way, just like, hard to beat. But and I know that I've been talking to a couple of people that are considering running as a Republican for a county clerk, and they've spoken with the party, my Republican county chair, and she's like, well, Sylvia's really hard to beat, and like, because our county chair's an idiot. Let's just face it, she's a moron. There's no business being our county chair, and she doesn't understand that there is a divided Democratic Party, and there is a group of people who will never vote for Sylvia. That's why it benefits us as Republicans to find somebody that's qualified to run for that seat, to give the voters a choice in November. That's all that's about. They win, they win, they lose, but at least we give voters an opportunity and a choice. And I think that's what we as Republicans need to do. So do I think that Garza is gonna be able to beat Sylvia right now? No, I don't believe so right now. You might say that, you had certain individuals like Eddie Garcia who was able to beat, longtime tax assessor collector Tony Izaguirre, but Tony Izaguirre is not Sylvia Garza Perez when it comes to campaigning. Not even close. It's a different animal. And on top of that, you don't have a third person running in that race to cause a runoff. You're going to have a straight up election unless somebody out of the blue decides to run and file, as a Democrat to cause potentially a runoff. And then that will change the calculus. But right now, if I'm a betting man, and I'm not a betting man, I don't bet. But I think Sylvia wins, because of her ability, even though she's angered a lot of people. And now you have this one issue, this big time issue, where you have her saying no. She was in favor of raising taxes. And if I'm Sylvia and her team, they're going to be hammering it down. Now, I don't recall, maybe somebody on the chat can, let me know. Or remind me, did Sylvia Garza Perez support the arena? I don't recall. And I also don't recall whether Denise Garza supported the arena. And if I don't. So maybe those two issues might come into play, because quite frankly, nobody really cares what the county clerk does. I mean, it's a job, the position. It's not sexy. No, I'm not talking about sexy like ooh la la girlfriend, or ooh, I'm not saying I'm not a sexy position. It's not somebody you call to and you say, oh, she's like county treasurer. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that David Bettencourt is county treasurer. When's the last time you say, man, that David Bettencourt, he's a great politician. He's a freaking county treasurer. Nobody gives a shit about county treasurer. I mean, come on. But by the way, I do have a candidate, a Republican, that's going to run for county treasurer. But yeah, to run to eliminate that position, because we don't need to have that position in county treasurer. But we will have a Republican on that ballot, guaranteed. So just I think that it's going to be very difficult for Denise to win, especially now with this particular issue. And if I'm Sylvia, I use it.
And you're absolutely right. I'm sure Sylvia right now is salivating. She's seeing these numbers, and her team are assessing and saying, you know what, guys, let's drive the message. I, Sylvia Garza Perez, would never raise your taxes. I would never put you in that predicament. I know what it's like. I know the struggle. Life is hard right now. I will not put you and your family through something like that. Here you have Denise Garza, who did. You were sweating.
The county clerk doesn't do any of that stuff, right? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you don't say it. You don't say it. You say it anyway.
But at the end of the day, you use it as, hey, this is my character. Exactly. I would never do that against you. We understand that Sylvia Garza Perez is more like clerical work, She accepts documents. She's more of a records. We understand that, but hey, you gotta feed into this. You gotta use this to your advantage. We understand that it's not a policy making position such as BISD, but you have to drive it home so the community members could say, hey, she voted to increase your taxes. I would never do such a thing. Just a play with words would resonate with the people, Roman.
Yeah. Ruby is posting, if I can read that small thing right in front of me in the little screen that's down to the corner, 70% again. Wow. Bravo. Bravo. That is fucking awesome. Excuse my French today, but it just, that is, I'm so proud of you all. I'm really, 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 really am. You have proved me wrong, and I've never been happier being proved wrong. I mean, you all went out of your way to do this. Congratulations.
Roman, Cepeda has a great question. Does this mean that Joey Lopez is out?
He better. Look, they're going to have a race. On the Democrat side, they're going to have three people. It's going to be Joey, one of the Lucios, Joseph Lucio, and Martin Arambula with a well-known name. He's been elected before. He's run for office before. Joseph Lucio being a member of the Lucios. So they're going to be, have a battle, and they may go into a runoff. And if this runoff is going to be more expensive, we are going to have a candidate to run in the Republican side. You have Barbie Lopez, who is did a viral video opposing the bond at BISD. Where is the Republican candidate that's running against her? Nowhere to be found. He's just a guy in a hat. That's all he is. And I am hopeful that he'll rise up to realize that maybe he shouldn't run for that position, so that we can have a nice, clean primary and then all work together. But he wants to run against Barbie for whatever reason, because he has, he really doesn't like Joey Lopez, and you don't run for an office because you hate the person or you dislike. That's not what you run. You run to represent the people. And that's not, you don't run up from a negative standpoint. You run because you want to represent. So I am supportive of Barbie Lopez. She does have my support and endorsement as the former vice chair of the Republican Party in Cameron County. I will support her in any way I can. And I think everyone as a Republican should support Barbie Lopez, because she stands up with you. She's just a common person. She has the experience to be able to do it. And I think that if it's Barbie Lopez as a nominee, she beats any of the Democrats in November, because she has that kind of a spunky go-getter attitude, and she represents Republicans very, very well. So I am very hopeful that, Republicans will win that seat. And it going to depend, what also going to play a role in whether or not Joey Lopez is voted out either in the primary or in November is if the Republicans have a good county judge candidate. And right now you have Mauro Garza that's running as a Republican. People tell me they don't know who he is. Who's that guy in the pictures? He has his signs up. They say he's not really from here. He's from San Antonio. He runs for everything, blah, blah, blah. And, you still have the ability of somebody like Steve Guerra, who might decide to run in March. As a Republican, I keep hearing, I heard from, a couple of former elected officials just the last few days telling me that they believe that he's going to run as a Republican. And if he runs as a Republican, he's going to be tough to beat, even in the Republican primary. He really will be, because he's, unlike Mauro, he's actually from Cameron County. There are Republicans that will respect that and want to vote for somebody like that. And I do believe that if that does happen, if Steve Guerra does run as a Republican and wins the nomination, I think he beats the crap out of Eddie Trevino, Judge Eddie Trevino in November. I think he beats him because he has just enough Democrats that will support him, vote for him, even though he's running as a Republican. And I think he has a lot of, gravitas amongst Republicans to be able to win that kind of a race. And we're, we could potentially have County Commission Precinct 2 go Republican for Barbie, and potentially County Judge go Republican for Steve Guerra if he decides to run as a Republican. It'll be a different story, I think, if Mauro Garza is the nominee. Although I like, Mauro Garza, I respect him. And I'm glad that he's decided to run as a Republican. I just don't think that he has the gravitas of being from Cameron County to be able to win in November. That's just me. I could be wrong, just like I was today. It is what it is. But we're going to have some interesting stuff, guys. Let me read some of these comments that I've missed out on. Yasmin said Daniela Valdez should be advocating to upgrade her dad's stinking stores. I don't know if Yasmin, I don't know if he's the only one that's in charge of those supermarkets. Okay. I don't know if he is or isn't. I don't claim to be an expert on the Lopez family. Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
Going back to the Lucio Roman real quick. Going back to the Lucio Arambula Lopez race. Is there a possibility that Joey Lopez might not come out of the primary?
Yes, I think there's a possibility for that. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's a very strong possibility. I mean, look what happened just last year in 2024. You had Eddie Garcia running against a guy from, I guess, Rancho Viejo or something, and then I think his name was Skippy, if I'm not mistaken. He ran. It was Eddie Garcia, trustee, and you had the incumbent, and there was enough votes, and they went into a runoff, and Eddie Garcia was able to win in that runoff. And when you get into a runoff, you have problems. I mean, look what happened with Eric Garza. Eric Garza was the sheriff for 4 years. He had never lost an election before. And then he ran, and he had 3, sheriff Democrat candidates that ran against him. You had Manny Trevino, who ultimately won in a runoff. You also had, what's the guy's name from Spanky's? My brain is just, fried for whatever reason. That guy, where the guy, the owner of Spanky's, ran. And then some other guy had spent like a ton of money on billboards. I already forgot his name. So Flores, maybe, I don't know. Some guy,
He used to be a law enforcement officer.
Yeah, that guy. You see, I don't remember his name. I apologize. I try to remember everything, but I can't. Forgive me, guys. But there was a runoff, and so in that runoff, the incumbent lost. And so, yes, I think that Joey Lopez has a very, very uphill battle if it goes into a runoff, because I think in a runoff he loses. I do. And because there are people that will hold him accountable for the arena. There were people that will hold him accountable for what his daughter was pushing on this BISD bond. There were people that will hold him accountable for not, being there for a long ass time, and they want new blood. And so whoever comes out, whether it's Martin Arambula or Joseph Lucio, it's also possible that Joseph Lucio and Martin Arambula managed to be the 2 people in a runoff, because I think that could potentially go into a runoff. I'm not gonna begin to guess yet. I guess I am sort of guessing.
No, we're hypothetical. We're brainstorming. We're thinking out loud, and that's what I like this platform, because, people are asking questions, and I like the engagement that we've been having tonight, because people, Roman, saw through this bond. They saw through it that this wasn't in the best interest of the community. So now, look, we've had blogger out there saying, John Cowan, Eddie Trevino, Steve Guerra, Daniel Lopez Valdez, Jessica Gonzalez, Tito Mata. All these people are in favor of this bond. Look what happened. The voters rejected it by somebody saying, what, 70%?
Insane.
So
crazy.
So the people are going to think about that and say, so you have someone like Joey Lopez that, to the best of my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, was in favor of the arena. Joey Lopez was in favor, because of his daughter, of the bond, of the proposition to increase property taxes. Okay. I'm going to vote against him, because twice, Roman, well, let's say 4 times, because the arena 3 and BISD bond once, 4 times Joey Lopez voted to increase your taxes. So, hypothetically speaking, it's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched to say the people aren't going to be happy with someone like Joey Lopez, who was in favor of increasing your taxes. Maybe, ladies and gentlemen, maybe we are starting to see the decline of the Lopez empire. Maybe it starts with Joey Lopez, and then it ends with Daniela, if she chooses to run. And look, there's no question, ladies and gentlemen, I can stare y'all in the face and say Daniela Lopez Valdez has higher aspirations than BISD. That's no question. I remember when she first ran, I probably shouldn't share this, but when she first ran, she was sending mail outs to San Benito. Why would a BISD candidate be sending out political brochures, pamphlets, information to San Benito? Somebody said, well, she made a mistake. Other people saying she wants to get her name out there. She wants to be, hey, who is this person? Maybe it was a mistake, but you know very well, Roman, those mail-outs, they're expensive. They're very expensive. And people in the political world, they think that Daniela Valdez has higher aspirations of her political career. So is something like this going to affect her father? Is something like this going to affect Daniela Valdez in future, whatever goal she has? I would dare say, Roman, 1000%. The people will remember. And again, it all goes back to the teachers. It all goes back to all these people that I spoke about that were very active, the Gossages, the Munozes, the Dr. Cisneros, Susan, Kati, Miller, all those people. They're going to come back and remember whenever Joey asked for their vote. They're going to remember when Daniela asked for their vote in 2.5 years. So this, Roman, this is going to have serious implications moving forward.
Well, I would agree with you. I will. Some people were asking about New York City, and I guess AP is reporting that the Democratic Socialist just won in New York City as the mayor. Congratulations! Oh, right now he's at 49%, but I guess they're predicting. Congratulations, New York City! You just became a communist hellhole. Just I mean that's what happens when people believe rainbows and unicorns and gobbledygook when it comes to voices. And then you have people that are, MSNBC just elated. The little commies at MSNBC are ecstatic about that. If I'm in New York City, I think earlier today there were people talking about refugees from New York City, moving into Florida because of it. It's just really sad. Now there are going to be people that are going to be making hay about Virginia and New Jersey going Democrat, for governor. Like it's like a retaliation against Trump. New Jersey and Virginia are Democratic strongholds. I mean, they're not bellwethers. I'd be more impressed if a Republican actually won than anything else. But I guess the people of Virginia were okay with voting for somebody who didn't want to distance herself from a guy who apparently thinks it's okay to do bad things to children or wish bad things on children in text messages just because of politics, which is insane. But that is what the people of Virginia voted for. So congratulations, dumbass Democrats. But then again, Virginia's always been a little bit messed up, right? I mean, they did lead the Confederacy, right?
People are saying that having meetings after school to push the bond was insulting to the teachers. Again, Roman, it was, they were shoving it down people's throats, Roman. Everywhere. PUB had a community event. We had BIS. Look, it was funny. Somebody sent me a picture of BISD and Jubilee. You had BISD, Roman, at the PUB community event talking about bond. You had Jubilee. You know what they were talking about, Roman? Student enrollment, Look how great we are. Look what we're doing. Bring your child. We will excel. You will see nothing but they're going to achieve. They're going to overachieve. Mm-hmm. Where is our priorities, BISD? Unfortunately, our priorities are all messed up. We're so focused on money. This is the reason, community. This is the reason why you as a parent, you don't want to send your child to BISD. I don't blame you. But I do ask you one thing. Give a chance to someone like Roman Perez. Give a chance to someone like your humble servant to prove to you that people like us, we will give you the facts. We will tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we will change things for the betterment of our city and for our school district. Mm-hmm. But whenever you have BISD shoving this down your throat, everywhere you go, bond. People were up to here, Roman. They're like, get that crap out of my face, Roman.
I want to report here. The Cameron County Elections Department is now posting on their live voter turnout thing. Unofficial results will be posted after all polling locations have reported on election night. So that's why we don't have results on the Cameron County website, but we do have reports being filed someplace else. That's really nuts. That's crazy. Why do other people have it, but the Cameron County Department does not? It's just makes no sense. And now we have to use valleycentral.com to give us our news. Like, this is like, do I really want to? I mean,
So then why does Cameron County Election Department, why do they have a website? How about from moving forward, let's just give the information to Channel 4. Let's have BISD be the ones that report the numbers. Why do we need the election department, Roman?
Apparently, I mean, they get paid a lot of money to be able to do this. They can't do the one thing they got to do one night a year. Well, not one night a year. I mean, look, I'm sure I'm sure there are explanations for this. I look forward to hearing what those explanations are. It's just ridiculous that we don't have election night results then, and we still don't have it even in Hidalgo County. Even in Hidalgo County, they don't even have them as well. So something must be going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's an amazing night tonight. I think it's just absolutely amazing. Vanessa, you're writing. If BISD is so worried about enrollment, why do they allow parents/guardians to sign their students out of school just because the kid doesn't want to go to school? I mean, as long as they're, I think BISD just cares so long as they are there for the census time or the time that they do more. I think it's at noon for high schools. I think it's like 11 or something, or 10:30 for middle school, and like 9 or something for elementary, to figure out whether they're counted present for the money that they get from the state. So at that point, they don't care. But yeah, that there will be a reckoning, for BISD to decide what they're going to do now. Did they even have a plan B?
Yasmin makes a great point. School choice is appealing because of BISD's mess ups.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of money, being spent right now. It's only $1 billion, and you, like I told you all yesterday when we had, State Rep Jenny Lopez on and talked about how, it's only going to be a few students that are going to be affected. It is appealing, but not everybody's going to be access to those educational savings accounts. But
what I'm talking about, Roman, is the long term, because again, this is a pilot program.
Yes,
not a small amount. $1 billion is not a small amount, but a certain amount of money is going to be allocated for this. But I'm sure that after the results come back, and that the parents are going to say, "Wow, now we have the resources available to send our child to wherever we want." Now, is St. Joe going to accept everyone? We don't know. But in the long run, Roman, we got to think ahead. We have to play chess here. In 5-10 years, Roman, BISD is not going to look so appealing after all.
Yeah.
So Yasmin makes a great point. We have to focus on our image at BISD. We haven't been giving the parents a good reason to send people to BISD. Heck, Roman's favorite BISD board president doesn't even send her kids to BISD. Mm-hmm. That's hypocritical, don't you think, community? Don't you think that's hypocritical for her to say, believe in BISD, send your kids to BISD? Excuse you, ma'am. Why don't you preach, preach what you, walk what you preach, again, actions, ladies and gentlemen, actions speak louder than words. So Roman makes a great point. And I don't want you to go too much into this, Roman, because I want us to focus that on tomorrow. Tomorrow's topic that I want Roman to focus on is what's next? What does the next 5-10 years look like for BISD?
Yeah,
because there is no doubt in my mind, Roman, that just like the arena was pushed and pushed and pushed, there's no doubt in my mind that this bond is going to be pushed heavily. There's no doubt in my mind, because they don't know anything, Roman. Se ahogan en un charco de agua, and they don't know what to do. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Let's reassess the situation. Let's downsize. Let's close schools. Let's look ourselves in the mirror and have that serious discussion. Let's liquidate properties. Let's see how much money we could grow from the sale of these properties. Maybe we could get 150. Maybe we could get $200 million. Maybe that, Roman, would be a good jumpstart to fixing our facilities. And maybe, I don't know, Roman, maybe in 10 years, maybe we can build a performing arts center, Roman. But again, these people don't think. All they want to do is, how Roman calls them, the leftists, the liberals, just tax. Money doesn't grow on trees, Roman. Our people here in the community are suffering. And I'm glad that the people were vocal. I'm glad that the people said, hell no, I do not. I'm sick and tired of your taxes. But tomorrow's program, make sure you tune in. we're going to talk about what we think. I'm not going to share what I think about with Roman, and he's not going to share anything with me because I like everything to be raw and scripted. But we have to talk about what lies ahead because the reality, unfortunately, is not good. This was their saving grace. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we have to talk and get down to the nitty gritty. We have to look ourselves in the mirror and we have to make very important decisions moving forward.
100%. I want to turn a little bit to what happened in New York City because it's fascinating to me. A couple of weeks ago there were calls on calls for Curtis Sewell to withdraw from the race, to not run anymore because they felt that he would cause the election of the Democratic Socialists, and he didn't do it. And I think it's going to end up being that's what happened. Because right now, the Democratic Socialists is just under 50% right now, and you combine what Curtis, the Republican, has, and Andrew Cuomo, the former governor of New York, has. You combine them, would have more percentage votes than the Democratic Socialists. So yeah, I think that happened. I mean, look at what happened in Staten Island. Right now in Staten Island, combined, Sewell and I don't even know how to put it. Sliwa. Sorry, I think Sliwa and Cuomo. You combine them, they have like 75% just in Staten Island alone. But he shouldn't have been in that race. He should have withdrawn, but he didn't care. Some people's, and that's the problem sometimes with politicians. Their own hubris gets in the way. And for whatever reason, he wanted to run and stay on the ballot and have people to vote for him. And he ended up causing what we didn't want, which was a Democratic Socialist being mayor. And that should say a lot for politicians, even locally. Sometimes they're so stubborn, so freaking stubborn. They miss the forest for the trees. And they just, hit their head against the wall somehow. And they think they're smarter than everybody else. And then they end up losing it all. And that's what's happened right now at BISD. You had, Daniela Lopez Valdez, the private school mom, board president, go everywhere with the superintendent, gave money to that, political action committee, $100. By the way, remember, if you look at that campaign finance report, it shows Daniela Lopez. Daniela Valdez. It doesn't say Daniela Lopez Valdez. I don't know why. Why she leave out the Lopez there? I don't know when she was donating money. But she only gave $100, and she's on there, talking about the misinformation, all that stuff that she was doing. She was the face of the bond. And if I'm Denise Garza, if I'm Jessica Gonzalez, or I'm even the Golden Girl or Blackie Locks, Frank Ortiz, I might be having a conversation tonight with Daniela Lopez Valdez and say, I think you may have cost us the bond, because she was the face of the bond more so than even the superintendent was, right? And it was very easy for people like myself and Frankie and others to be able to point out the fact that she doesn't even believe in BISD. She doesn't. Why? Because she didn't send her kids there. Isn't that a problem? I mean, it was like, why would you be the face of it, knowing full well that you don't send your own children to BISD? You don't like BISD for whatever reason. Again, it's your right, your choice. You can do whatever you want to. They're your kids. I'm not the mean old government telling you what you got to do. I'm not going to judge you for what you're doing. But if you're going to be the face of a bond asking for $460 million for a tax increase that was ultimately going to be at $1 billion, and you're going to be the face of it, you best believe we're going to be able to point out you don't even believe in BISD yourself. And I think that was a strategic mistake on the part of the board. But she had to be the face of it, because she's smarter than everybody else. She has the beautiful smile, the beautiful long hair. She goes up to Austin, a hobnob with all the people, gets the awards. She has to do it. She was in your face about it. She wanted to make sure that you knew that she was a star, an up-and-coming person in politics in the Valley. She got in the way of the bond. Just like Curtis Sliwa got in the way of Andrew Cuomo. Again, he's a Democrat running as independent. We all know that, but he might actually be slightly better than the Democrat Socialists in New York. So there's interesting things, and that's why I think Frankie has me on, because I think of these kinds of stuff off the top of my head.
Maria, what does next year look like for BISD overall? Tune in tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down for you. But I'm sure you want a little bit of juice right now, a little bit of gas. So I'm gonna put Roman on the hot seat.
Oh, dude,
Roman,
really? Oh, I hate the
Roman,
hot seat. This me caliente.
Roman,
Oh my God! Wait. Did Virginia literally just vote for a Democrat who was in favor of doing bad things to children because of politics? You morons! You all are that stupid. The guy wrote text messages to people wishing bad things on children, and you voted for that, you morons in Virginia. Golly, 52%, almost 53%. The guy got. Y'all are really stupid in Virginia. You really, really are. God, I get that says a lot. Like, I would expect people, to have some common sense, but apparently you don't in Virginia. None of you all don't have absolutely zero common sense. None. Wow.
Roman,
You're nuts.
should Superintendent Chavez be worried about his job?
No. Why? Why would he? He has a vote. He has 4 votes. You think the Golden Girls going to vote to fire him?
Well, again, he was his contract was extended for 1 year because it was 3-3. That was before Golden Girl was brought on to the board, and a decision in his contract should come in the summer, if I'm not mistaken. So the board, the new board, might not even have a chance to vote on this. Again, it is possible that they could renew him and the new board could come and take him out. We don't want dead money, so to speak. We don't want to pay somebody to go away. No, Ms. Parker, Proposition A and Proposition B failed by a landslide. So again, it's going to be a lot's at stake, ladies and gentlemen. A lot is at stake moving forward. But today, celebrate. Have a nice cold glass of orange juice tonight, because of people like you, people like Roman. Y'all made this possible. Y'all sent a message to these people. But this is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. This is just the beginning. Look, a lot of people ask me, Roman, but why do you do what you do? Why do you come on at 9 a.m.? Why are you so critical? Doing what I do, it affects my job. It affects my career. It's difficult being outspoken. It really does. The main reason why I enjoy waking up and coming before you, the main reason why is because of my predecessor. I want to honor his memory. And every time they talk about that crazy nut named Frankie Olivo, his name's going to be brought up. That's the main reason why. But also, the second reason is because I want to be part of a movement, Roman. I want to be part of something that people could look back and say, hey, man, this guy, along with Roman, with Susan, with Kathy, with Dr. Laura, with Munoz, with Bautista, with Miller, with the Gossages, with Jasmine, with all those people that were vocal, they really made a change. That to me, ladies and gentlemen, is orgasmic. That to me is Valhalla, or what did your boy Cash Patel call it? Heaven. That to me is amazing. Look, we're supposed to make this world a little bit better by the time we go and meet our maker. My job in life is just to change the life of one person. That's my role in life. Me as a Christian, I want to change one person's life, because I think that by changing that one person's life, hopefully God will forgive me for my mistakes, all the bad things that I've done. But I generally want to be part of a movement. I want to be hand in hand with people like Roman and say, you know what? We brought a positive change to the community. So again, to my people of Brownsville, congratulations, man. You sent a clear message to the school district. You sent a clear message by saying, nope, not today. And hopefully you'll keep on sending that message. So enjoy it, guys. Enjoy it. This was all you. This was all Roman. But get ready to come back tomorrow swinging. And I'm sure most of you are going to be energized. I know Roman is.
I don't know, but I'll probably be exhausted. We'll see. Um, uh, Foxes has a number now at 50.5 for Ma'am Donnie. Oh, or really, really bad. But what I'm not gonna sit here and cry or I'm not gonna scream and holler like some Democrats do when they have a bad night. I'm
Or you might
gonna
take it without a
accept it.
runoff, it seems.
Well, right now it looks like it, but they don't have runoffs over there. They have ranked choice voting over there. So there
Oh,
is under 50%. Then they have to go into whoever the second choice is. And if there's a second choice there, I think Ma'am Donnie loses, but everybody's projecting it's over. He's going to get over 50% barely. The question, Yasmin was asking me what happened with the contract. Honestly, I remembered that like 3 months ago. There's lots of things that happened in the last few months that I cannot remember exactly. So don't hold me to what I'm about to tell you completely. But when you have a 3-3 vote, it's not a yay or nay, so he automatically gets to get renewed for a year. It just boils down to it's that simple. Because they didn't have one way or the other, it's as though he continue on for 1 year. It's not the same as what happened with the board attorney when there was a 3-3 vote because their contract was already expiring. And on this case, for the board, but the superintendent, it was in his contract that if they didn't, if they didn't renew it, it automatically renewed. If that makes any sense. In that case, it automatically renewed for 1 more year. And I don't think he had a 4-year contract. I think he had a 3-year contract, if I'm not mistaken. No.
Anything out of Hidalgo County, Roman?
Let me check. Let me check real quick. I don't think there is any, but let's see. Nope, nothing. Nada. Zip zilch. I wonder if Valley Central has anything there. Let's look at those idiots over there. You probably think the same thing about us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just how long before people start asking the question, is Virginia racist for not voting for a black lady to be a governor? Dun dun dun.
Hey, well, you had your president Barack Obama saying to vote for your girl Kamala because she's black, and then in the Virginia in this race, she's saying, "Oh no, don't vote for the African American, vote for the white girl."
She's not black enough, I guess. She's not black enough for the Democrats.
African American was like, "What the hell? You 6 months
a year ago,
8 months, 9 months ago, you were saying to vote black. What the hell, Barack?
You got to be the right kind of black. You have to think the right way, I guess.
Preach, brother.
But yeah, it's funny. I mean, locally, I'm excited. I live in a red state. We're gonna win some races next year. I'm not gonna cry because people in New York are stupid voting for a Democratic Socialist. Might as well be a commie. And I'm not gonna cry because Virginia is stupid and voted for a guy who wanted to do bad things to children because of politics. That's what Democrats do. I mean, who knows? Maybe there are people that are really upset because there's a shutdown and are blaming Republicans when it's not Republicans' fault, it's Democrats' fault. Yeah. Yasmin is asking about the amendments. If you want to, Frankie, I would recommend going to the Texan News. Google the Texan News, and they'll have all those numbers for you. And they'll have those numbers from Decision Desk. So you want to look up their numbers and give them a click. I do recommend the Texan News. Good people. Like I say, I think all of them are going to pass. I don't think there's going to be a single one that's not going to pass. But it would be interesting to figure out what some of the amendments were and which one were closer, which ones were more far apart.
The Texan?
The Texan News. Yeah, Google the Texan News. Still nothing out of Hidalgo. That's crazy. That's nuts. Nothing. Sorry, I'm doing a little music. Hey, doing elevator music for y'all. Yeah, the Texan News. Scroll down a little bit. Ooh, Austin voters have rejected the Proposition Q tax increase funding homeless services. Wow, that's interesting. Scroll down a little bit. Are you able to?
Hold
Don't,
on,
don't,
I think I found it. It's because it opens up another tab.
okay,
Oh wait, never mind. This is 2024.
okay. Go back and I'll. Scroll down a little bit. Did they even have election night results anywhere?
I don't.
I would have.
I haven't seen it.
They don't. Wow, I'm really surprised they don't have any. Okay, well let's do Texas Tribune then. I guess to figure out. I'm really surprised they don't have election night coverage. They usually do. Texas Tribune. Click on them and see what they got.
Tampoco.
They might have something.
They should have had it like at the top, no? Like
You would think, right? You would think,
I would
but
think. Oh, constitutional amendments.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, click on that. And why not? What to know? I want to know what the results were. That's what I want to know. They don't even have the results. You know what? Or I guess we're. Oh golly,
Nah.
jeez, nothing, man. These people suck. Okay.
It's too soon, bro. It's the polls just closed. It's gonna take them a while, no?
No, they have them immediately. They have like a page ready to go. Maybe the Secretary of State's website has some of those results. Maybe they should, but there. I don't. Let's see what happens. Oh, wow, that's just amazing that they don't have anything on there.
Hidalgo still doesn't have nothing.
Nada, bro. Nothing. Nada. Nothing. I literally just refreshed, but I'll do it again just for you. Nothing. And same thing with Cameron County. It's like everything's down today. Like nothing is posting right.
Yeah, I guess there's so much traffic. Maybe there's so much
Maybe.
traffic
Who knows?
on these websites. Again, you have thousands and thousands of people refreshing and trying to get
Maybe.
all that information out there.
Yeah.
So
Yep. It's just surprising that some of these places don't have that stuff. I'm gonna do. Let's see if I can search for something, and then I'll tell you where to find anything and see if is anything there. Uh, shoot. I mean, I'm surprised they don't have anything. 2020. Wow, that's amazing. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah. I was kind of hoping there'd be something there, but nope, nothing there. Regardless, somebody's asking a question about the board makeup and what I would consider running for. I no, oh, I'll consider it. I don't really want to. I have other things I'd like to be able to do, but you never know. I may decide at the last minute to file in August. I'll let you all know if I decide to do it. But right now, I'm not. Gonna do that. And maybe I should. I know that Osmo wanted me to do it last cycle, and I didn't listen to him, and maybe I missed my calling. But who knows? As far as he has me in a hypothetical board. Well, here's the problem with that hypothetical board that you're asking. Catalina may be running for district clerk as a Republican, and Dr. Laura may.
breaking news or what?
That's those are the rumors I keep hearing. And then Dr. Laura Cisneros may be running for something as well as a Republican. So, I don't want to say that she might get mad at me, but that she's right now being considered to run for as a Republican for something. So, it'd be very difficult to have that kind of a board with them. And I would encourage whatever they're running for, Kathy and Dr. Laura, I would highly recommend you all vote for them and support them and help them out in any way you can if they run as a Republican. I'm sure they'll be announcing very, very soon, very shortly. Because I know that, for example, Dr. Laura Cisneros has been reached out by people in Austin to consider running for something. So, which is kind of cool.
Impressive.
Yeah, but I don't want to ruin it for her. But I mean, Gatti, I've heard the rumors from a number of people. Some Democrats. I heard Gatti's going to run for. You don't say nada. You don't say nada. I do. I do. Yeah, you don't say nada. You don't say nada. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, so I'm excited about. I gotta be honest with you. I'm very, very excited about some of the candidates that are putting their hats in the ring to run as Republicans. A variety of people. I will tell you that county clerk is one of those positions that I know that I'm looking for somebody um, to run for. So if you know of any Republicans that are interested in running for countywide office, have them contact me or contact Frankie, and then we can maybe have a conversation about running as a Republican, because I want to give voters a choice, in spite of what Deborah Bell, our county chair in the Republican Party, wants to do, who apparently doesn't see a point of giving voters a choice. I do. I do, and I'm not going to be judgmental just because somebody wants to run a Republican if I don't think they're the greatest candidate in the world. I want to give people a choice. Okay, guys? If you're interested in running as a Republican, let us know. Because it'd be great. Vanessa Trevino. Sorry, I'm sorry. Vanessa Trevino. I don't know why I said Tijerina. Trevino is saying that the Valley Central just did an interview with the superintendent. Ooh, maybe we can. Is it on Valley Central? Maybe we can play it. Let's play that video. I'd love to hear the sad eyes. They should do an interview with the Daniela Lopez Valdez and let us know if she's going to run again. Let's see.
Yeah, they just sent it to me. Let me see if I could send it to them. If I could upload it. Oh, hold on.
Okay, I'll wait for you. I'm refreshing Hidalgo County and Cameron County. Still nothing. Nada. Zip zilch. Okay. Again, I don't know what these these propositions are, but while you're looking for something, Prop 1 right now is up with 68%, whatever Prop 1 was. Prop 2, whatever that is up with 66%. Prop 3 is up 62%. Prop 4 is up 70%. And Prop 5 is up with 64%. Prop 6 has only at 57%. So far, that seems to be the closest. Prop 7 is at 86%. Prop 8 is at 72%. Prop 9 is at 66% if you round up. And Prop 10 is at almost 90%. Prop 11 is 79%. Prop 12 is 62%, nearing 63%. Prop 13 is 81%. Prop 14 is 69%. Prop 15 is 70%. Prop 16 is 73%. And Prop 17 is at 59%. So I don't recall what Prop 17 was, and it's at 59%. Seems to be the closest one, but it's over regardless. But maybe I can, figure those out for you all if you want me to. Give me a second.
Prop 17, tax exemption for border security infrastructure.
And that one really, and that one is at 59%. Wow. I guess some people really don't care about border security. And then the other one that was really, really small, a lot closer at 57% was Prop 6. Which one is that one, Frankie?
Prop 6. 1 second. Prop 6 is prohibit tax on securities.
That tax one, if I'm not mistaken.
You ready for the video?
Sure, play the video. Play it. I'll mute myself.
Let me know if you can hear the audio.
Yeah, I can't hear it yet.
I can't hear it either. Gee. All right, let me do a better one. Hold on.
Okay, give me a second.
Let me see if you guys can hear this.
No, not even. They don't have the video on the Valley Central webpage that you can play it there?
Let me see. I doubt it. They should have it on their Facebook, no?
Yeah, maybe on their Facebook. I would assume they would have it on
Everybody has us blocked, chingao. Susan has me blocked. Becky has me blocked, so I can't do nothing.
No, it doesn't really matter. Dum. Why don't you post on your own Facebook? I guess. Where's that thing?
Oh yeah. I'll do that.
Yeah, post it on your Facebook. Post it, and then we can play it there. That'll be great. That'll be hilarious. Somehow or another, the for and the against actually came down. Now we're looking at 63% against for Prop B, and for Prop A, we're looking at 59% against. But still, that's actually just an absolute beatdown, quite frankly. And but yeah,
I wonder
they
why
don't.
that was taking forever, Roman.
What happened?
I wonder why that was taking forever.
Honestly, I think it's simply well, you know what? I think it's just they tend to take forever for the same reason. They have to wait until everybody is voted, or they could be having technical issues as well. But they don't have anything posted on Valley Central. What's really fascinating is that even in Rio Grande City, Gruya ISD, they had a tax increase election, and it went against with 2,200 against with 774 in favor, which is crazy. So I guess people really are wising up to tax increase. Like, we're not going to do it anymore. Like, we're not.
So again, Jason Moody, he's saying that sources have stated that the bond election will be back next year, next election cycle. Roman, these people don't learn. Is it going to be like the venue, Roman, where it's going to be not once, not twice, but possibly 3 times, Roman?
It probably is. I mean, they have no choice but to do it, I guess, and they're going to think, but we're going to have again. I'm going to be against it regardless. At this point, I don't even care if it's 50 million or 100 million or 200 million dollars. I'm going to be against it on principle because they don't deserve it. They were greedy this go around, and instead of being smart about it, screw them. Screw them. Every one of those people, screw them. There's no reason for this bond election to happen again. You lost badly. Lick your wounds. Come back to the drawing board and wait for the new board to come in 12 months, and let them figure it out. And if I hurt your feelings, sorry. Facts don't care about your feelings, guys. Yep. But yeah. Does the Facebook page for Valley Central have anything on that video you wanted to show?
No.
I mean, you have the video, you just can't play it.
Yeah, I'm having audio issues. I don't know if it's because I have Bluetooth on.
Might be.
I apologize. Let me try and work through it. I apologize. If anyone has seen the video, they could tell us. I guess in a quick synopsis of what the super says.
Jasmine is asking me, Roman, do you know if seeing the bids are made public to see if BISD is choosing low bidding vendors? What bids are you talking about? Oh, specifically. I don't know what maybe rephrase the question so I understand what you're asking. I'm not trying to downplay your question. I just don't think I understand it. I apologize. Give me a second, Frankie.
Go for it. Okay, I think I have the audio. I think I have it. Let me see. 1 second, my people. I apologize again. Technology being live. There's so many things going on. 1 second. I think I got it though. Let me see. I'm gonna play it, guys. I'm gonna play it. Let me know if you can hear it. Again, I don't have my speaker. I'm away from the studio right now. Let's see if I can. No. What the heck? Can you hear that, guys? Thumbs up if you can hear it. I don't know what the heck is wrong. Barely. I don't know why I can't play it. I'm having trouble. I'm having audio issues. You can hear me though, but for whatever reason you can't hear. Why not? Again, it is troubling. It is troubling, ladies and gentlemen. If you have, are you still at SPI all day, every day, sir? You know it. It is troubling, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you have elected officials not being in tune with the community, not listening. Oh, we got new numbers, 918. Wow, that's crazy. Let me post these up. Wow. So now we have, I guess, closer to the final numbers. I'll go ahead and play. I'll go ahead and play the video tomorrow. I'll make sure that everything is set. I do apologize, guys. Again, being live is totally different, and it's very difficult to be on. I apologize. So we do have I want to say the final numbers. This doesn't look good. So we had Roman. We had Jason Moody saying that according to sources, they're going to have the bond up against next year. But look what the voters decided. 1,600 voters. 1,600 was a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And still, Roman, you have these people saying, we're going to put it on again and again and again and again and again. Isn't this frustrating, Roman?
Yeah, 100%.
Whenever you have, again, the arena, ladies and gentlemen, the arena was a case where they said that it wasn't going to be a bond increase. They said that that it's going to be a hot tax, and the voters didn't buy it 3 times. So the big topic, Roman, the big question that the community needs to ask to whoever runs in this upcoming BISD race is, what's your stance on the BISD bond? Are you going to vote in favor of this bond election again? Wouldn't you agree, Roman? Wouldn't you think that is going to be the most pressing question that the community should ask of each and every candidate that signs up for BISD?
Hold on, I'm trying to calculate math here. So I want to do it 5153, sorry, divided by the number that they've come up with. What is the total number? Is it 8? What? Do the other one? Give me that number, please. The other one you just did. Is that 8? No, that prop B. I want prop A.
The total is 8,700.
8,700.
11. 8,700.
I just want to see the percentages. 59%. It's still at 59%. That's where we're at. 59%. The other one's probably what 63%, 64%. That's how do you come back and say, oh, we just didn't do a good job in explaining what we really needed. Let's do it all over again, guys. Oh, I guess we were gonna do a smaller bond and figure it out. Like, maybe we need to do that. Maybe we screwed up last go around. It's just ridiculous that they want to go back to voters. They lost. I mean, at least when the county lost the arena, it was really like coin flip. The first and second time, it was a coin flip. But you're talking about a very, very blue area of Brownsville. At least when you had the arena fail, you had people like in Los Fresnos or in SPI and Harlingen, all those people that were like, oh, we don't want to do something that benefits Brownsville. Screw that. This was Brownsville. And you got your butts beat badly. Badly. And you want to go back for a bond? Really? Like that just, what are y'all thinking? I mean, again, these are your sources of Jason. And I think Jason has some pretty darn good sources at BISD, considering he used to work at BISD. I'm pretty sure he has some damn good sources. But you got to be kidding me that you all want to do this all over again. But, I mean, they're not the brightest people at BISD. I mean, remember, Daniel Lopez Valdez doesn't think the people at BISD are bright enough to teach her kids. So, I mean, just, it is what it is. They're the experts, right, Daniela? BISD, they're the experts, not you. They are. Yep. All right, let's see if there are any numbers in Hidalgo. Todavía no en Hidalgo. Nada in Cameron County, but we already have numbers from BISD. Thanks, BISD. You did this one thing right. I'm gonna give you aplausos, BISD. You know, y'all had a bad night. Y'all lost badly. You want to go back for more because you want to go back like piggies to a trough. Got to go back. But you have provided everybody a service tonight by giving them the numbers before Cameron County, the elections department, did. So congratulations. At least you did something right tonight. Everything else you did like crap, but at least you did this correctly. Yeah.
Again, to the community out there, I do apologize. I am having technical difficulties. I am away from the studio. But tomorrow morning, tune in at 9:15. We will play all the audio. We will let you know what was said by our superintendent. Again, I do apologize for that. I will be better prepared next time. It's just being away from the studio is very, very difficult. But I try my best to always.
Well, you got a chance to wear your Los Dyers or whatever, Doyers.
Yeah. Again, I'm really interested in the Hidalgo numbers, man. They're not out.
Nada. People in Edinburgh must be going crazy not knowing what the numbers are. But you know what? Maybe the city of Edinburgh has the numbers on their Facebook. You know, is it possible that the city of Edinburgh has it? Let's see. I wonder. You know. Well, I'm gonna go to the I guess see if they have anything. No, nothing there. Nada. They don't have anything on their election results yet at all. Tampoco. The city of Edinburgh does not have anything. And I guess the only link they have is that. I wonder if they have a Facebook page. Does the city of Edinburgh have a Facebook page? You know, I'm sure they do. Let's see. Do they have something? Facebook. Let's see what they got. Let's see. Maybe they have some election night results. No, they're just doing Veterans Parade stuff on their Facebook account. Their updates. They don't have anything on the City of Edinburgh website or on their Facebook page. Nada. So they don't know. Everybody going crazy. They don't know what the numbers are. I mean, they don't have a new mayor yet over in Edinburgh. So Vanessa said she sent you the video of the superintendent.
Yeah. Again, I'm having technical difficulties. I'm having audio.
You're not able to post it on your Facebook at all?
I did post it, but whenever I try and share it, it doesn't play the audio. Like when I play it on my phone, I could hear it. Like people could hear it. Like I posted the video on Facebook.
So when you
But
when you play a video on Facebook, it opens it up in a new page. It doesn't just play it there on that little screen.
not the audio. So
That's
again, tomorrow morning we will have all the videos. I promise you, I'll be better prepared. It's just tech issues. It's an audio thing, unfortunately.
Well, it's okay. I mean, it's already been, we've gone 2 hours. We'll talk about some election results tomorrow, I guess, and do that. And that way everybody, can celebrate on their own. Somebody send me some of that Twisted Tea. I've never had Twisted Tea. That just came to my mind. I think there was a commercial with Twisted Tea, which is why I said it. Raw says, as BISD loses kids, they want to pass a bond in this economy. Yeah, that's what they did. They wanted to do that, and they failed miserably. Yasmin, at this point, you can grab any person off the street to represent the BISD board. It's very possible. It's very, very possible. Except some people like Mamdani. I wouldn't want him to represent the BISD board. Cambo is saying they can go back to the table and find money. They need to find it. Well, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Vanessa said KVO posted just a clip of the interviewer talking about the bond. The interview with the superintendent is what I sent you. So we'll play tomorrow. I'm sure we will. Yasmin, what do you think of the natural resource depleting data center for Edinburgh? Dude, I didn't even know about that. So maybe you enlighten us, tell us more about it, because I don't know anything about that. So curious about that. So let us know. Saying Mamdani wins, BNC loses. It's a good day. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe 50% of what you said I'm okay with, but not the other 50%. Yasmin said, just hear it and just tell us, Frankie. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just listen to it and tell us what you think. Give us the paraphrasing of what the superintendent said. Because based on the little image that you showed without the audio, he looked very depressed.
Again, tune in tomorrow at 9:15, bright and early, and we will have it for you. Roman, take us home. Any last words?
This is not just a bad night for BISD. I think this is a bad night for John Cowan. Because John Cowan wasn't he in favor of the bond? He went and spoke at BISD, talked about all the wonderful things that BISD doing, because he was a product of BISD. No, he wasn't. He went there. You had another private school alum, Eddie Trevino, the county judge, going out there and did it the state of the district. I think that was embarrassing for them. I think this is a bad night for them as well, not just BISD. They need to be held accountable for what they were doing and pushing by the voters themselves. I think it's also a bad night for the Cameron County Republican Party, because they came in at the last second to oppose the bond. They had to be dragged kicking and screaming to do it, and they didn't want to be at the forefront of this debate, of this argument, and they should be embarrassed. They also have a bad night because you had a Republican elected in the city of Harlingen to be on the board. On the city council. City commission. I think it's city commission over there, and did it without the help of the Republican Party of Cameron County. An actual Republican, unlike Pedro Inurth, who they've spent money on their behalf to support or encourage. I think that's the word they use: encourage people to vote for. They had a bad night. And I hope voters will hold their leader accountable in March. And hopefully somebody runs for county chair. I think there is somebody considering running for county chair. No, it's not me. But there is somebody right now that I know that I think can garner the enough support to be able to beat Deborah Bell, assuming she even runs for re-election. Who knows? Maybe she won't. Maybe she will. Who knows? Yasmin is saying there's also a lawsuit for STISD taxes, I think in Edinburgh or some upper valley city. How many of us tired of paying 2 district taxes? I think a lot of us are very tired of it. Very tired of it. And, that's one of the things that I do disagree with Janie Lopez on. I will wholeheartedly disagree with her. She could very easily stop South Texas ISD from existing as a taxing entity if she, was a leader on it. And next time we have her on, and maybe we can talk about it, and maybe we can convince her to do it, because it's something that needs to happen. Because there is no reason why the Valley should have to pay 2 different school district property taxes. None whatsoever. And I think that's something that she needs to take a leader with. Going back to watch the new Squid Games, the challenge. Well, What? Tell me about that. Maybe the BSD board could give some ideas what to do with the made up position. Maybe, who knows? Enjoy Squid Games, the challenge. Enjoy your evening, everybody. Those of you at BSD, congratulations again. Like I open up when we got the first results of it, it means fewer people will lose their homes thanks to this vote. There will be fewer people having to have their rents go up because of this vote. It's not going to stop every home from being not foreclosed on. It's not going to stop every renter having their rent go up. It's not going to stop it, but at least we slowed down that process. So congratulations, because you made sure that old people didn't lose their homes, and you made sure old people could still afford their food, because business prices, cost of living was going to go up, and the cost of buying food was going to go up because of these taxes that BISD wanted to do. And call me out on it. If you're a member of the board or member of the Glass Palace, call me out on it. Tell me that I'm wrong and stupid and wrong. Me vale. Because I'm not stupid. I'm not wrong. I'm right. And like you, I actually care. I care about the people. I care about the people that pay your salaries. I care about the taxpayers. I care about the citizens of BISD and the city of Brownsville. And if you want to try to call me and Frankie out for not caring about your children, I care about those parents that are tucking those children in bed at night, whether or not they can feed their children because of your stupidity, because of your ineptitude, because you all are bad leaders at the school district. And there are a lot of bad leaders throughout our community, and we call them out on this show. Now, I do want to say this. There was an individual last night who told me that one of the things that they liked about when I was on the show with Erasmo, Frankie's predecessor, that was more jovial, that was more fun, and that me and Erasmo had a lot of fun doing that kind of stuff. And then I've somehow become a little bit more angry or angrier because, I'm on the show. I'm still happy-go-lucky. I still like to have fun. I think I try to make people laugh. But right now we're in a different situation where we need to be upset. We need to be emotional, not emotional like in a bad way, but we need to show our emotion to let people know how dissatisfied we are with the leadership as it is right now. That was something that Erasmo really believed in and fought for. And I want to hold that legacy. I still want to have fun. I think me and Frankie have a lot of fun doing what we're doing. But it's not exactly what it was with Erasmo. It never will be, because there was only one Erasmo. There can be only one, like he used to say. But there's also only one Roman. And I'm still the same guy that I was before with Erasmo as I am with Frankie, helping him out. This is Frankie's show, and I let him lead. But you're still going to get the knowledge that I have in my little tiny brain. Actually, I think I have a big brain. Giant brain. Whatever. Anyway, good night, guys. I'm so glad y'all were able to join us. I hope y'all had fun tonight and celebrate it with us. I might go get me a drink tonight. I think I'm going to get in my car, go buy a drink, and then come back home and drink it at home. Maybe. Probably not. Maybe. You never know. I may just do the twisted tea. I may just do it. I've never had it. Should I have it? Should I have it? I don't know. Maybe. You never know. Nunca sabes. Nunca sabes.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the citizens of Brownsville, congratulations. This is a monumental stepping stone for the future. Do not give up. To all the teachers out there, I sympathize with you. Tomorrow, tune in at 9:15 to Good Morning Brownsville. We're going to let you know what's going to happen in regards to the future of the school district. While your school board and your school board president wants to paint the district as being butterflies and roses, I prefer to give you the grim reality. I think you should respect that. Moving forward, a lot of work is still in front of us. We have a very important BISD race in the very near future. We need to start looking today, tomorrow, to look for candidates that are going to put your best interests before anything. There are 4 positions, ladies and gentlemen, 4 positions on the BISD board that ultimately is going to shape the dynamics and the majority on that board. We need to elect people that are going to be vocal, that are going to fight, and that aren't going to be scared of what other people say. Congratulations. I applaud each and every one of you. My hat goes off to each and every one of you. I want you guys to know that this wasn't our victory. This is yours. But again, celebrate tonight. The hard work starts tomorrow morning. make sure you get ready because this is just the beginning. The people will put on this bond election again and again and again because they do not know how to think outside the box. Roman.
We have numbers from Hidalgo County. Just as you're bringing that up, I'm going to say something. That apparently, they in Far San Juan Alamo, they had a Proposition A and B. I don't know if these are bonds. It would seem to me that those are bonds, and if they were bonds, they failed tonight as well. If those were bonds, but the one that you're caring about is the mayor of Edinburg. We had a 4-person race. Omar Ochoa is now going to be the mayor of Edinburg. He won with 63% of the vote.
God damn.
Wow. That's insane, dude. Insane.
That's strong.
That is, I mean, the amount of money that guy spent.
He spent $2 million.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know what the number is. I don't look at campaign finance reports. The campaign finance reports at 300,000 or so. That's crazy. That's crazy. The $300,000 was spent just on a campaign finance report. You're claiming $2 million. I don't know where that number came from, but that is nuts. That's a lot of money. But I am curious. I am curious. I still am curious about what Omar Ochoa, is now the mayor-elect of Edinburg, thinks about the patriarchy, because his wife really talks a lot about the patriarchy and how the patriarchy is bad. So I'm curious if Mayor-elect Omar Ochoa thinks the patriarchy is bad, or even if the patriarchy exists. But who knows? He's the mayor-elect. But yeah, it wasn't even close. Like, shocking how much he was able to win without a runoff. Wow. Those are it. And again, I don't know if the Prop A and Prop B at Far San Juan Alamo are bonds. I'm going to assume they're bonds, but they voted against it over there. So yeah, interesting.
There's going to be a runoff between De Leon and Segovia.
Is there really? Yeah, you're right. There will be a runoff. There will be a runoff because Eddie Badillo was able to cause a runoff because of the amount of votes that he got. So yeah. So yay. There you go. At least we got those numbers, and still over to Cameron County, nada. Nada in Cameron County, nada. We'll have those tomorrow morning. God bless each and every one of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Frankie. This is Roman. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have great numbers tonight, man. Thank you so much, people. Get ready tomorrow. Get ready to throw them fregazos. Peace.